Another recommendation that I had heard was like, have a bucket of warm water by you because it is fire and you could burn.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to put cold water on a burn, I guess, because it's so shocking to the system that it can make the burn even worse. And you aren't supposed to do this near any sort of linens. So I'm a dumbass.
You did so many things
I did so many things wrong. Like, I'm such a dumbass.
Welcome to Emma and Cass Do.
Thanks to our expert guests, Honey Do Me has brought you episodes all about how to.
We've learned how to eat ass, how to ride cowgirl, how to give life-changing hand jobs, and so much more.
But we think it's high time to tell you how it went.
So we're here to overshare and give you an honest review from the perspective of two total amateurs.
So get ready, because in this episode, we're getting kinky. Hello, hello.
Cool. Hello. How goes it?
It goes.
It goes and it comes and it leaves and it's here.
It hasn't been coming. And by it, I mean me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thank you for that transition. Yeah. So I've talked a little bit about how I am on an SSRI now. And I think a lot of people know that can get in the way of pleasure, can make it harder. And I haven't been thinking about sex a lot, but I've been trying to be more intentional about that. So I've been consciously thinking about it more. And then
You sounded like the Grinch.
I meant
Consciously thinking about it more.
It's holiday season is coming up.
I guess so, right?
I'm sorry
You're very
for
on
getting into
theme.
character. Yeah, so I knew I needed to be more intentional, so I was like, okay, I'm going to masturbate. So I went with my tried and true, my Satisfyer Pro 2. And usually that thing gets me off in a heartbeat. Not so much. Not so much. It still felt good, but I think I was in this really anxious state because I was like, oh my God, I haven't orgasmed in a month and a half. What if I can't anymore? What if it isn't going to work? What am I going to do then? I don't want to go off my SSRI because, to be honest, it makes me feel so much better. My anxiety has gone down astronomically. I am a different person in a good way on this medication. So it's I can't sacrifice all that it's doing for my life, for my orgasms, but I don't want to lose that part of myself either because I'm obviously fucking doing this podcast.
Right.
It means a lot to me. Pleasure. And I know pleasure doesn't equal orgasm, but whatever. I wanted a fucking orgasm.
Yeah. You can also really fucking want an orgasm. Yeah.
So it was just really stressful, I think. And so it wasn't super fun, and I didn't really take the time to set up any intentional space or really get in the mood or anything like that. And so it was really hard. And I think after a long time I was able to get a small orgasm, but it wasn't how I'm used to. I'm usually able to get 4 orgasms from using my Satisfyer Pro in 5 minutes.
Which is crazy.
It's so different.
Ooh.
Somebody else is having an orgasm. If you can hear her. Just kidding. That's my hound.
That's the hound dog. The hound doggy.
He's a screaming. But yeah, so, I've had sex since then as well. That was the first thing that I did. And then I had sex. I did not orgasm any of those times when I had sex. It was still really good and it was still really pleasurable. But it is hard. And I think in order to get to that point where I can orgasm, it is going to take a lot more foreplay. It's going to take a lot more just being really intentional and time and setting up the space and making sure that I feel really good, because it's hard going into it feeling I don't know if I'm going to access what I want in this. And then I've also struggled with my health. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I've been struggling where I bleed during sex, even if I'm not on my period. And so that's really frustrating. So it's all these body things, and it's okay, well, I don't feel very sexy since I'm bleeding and not even really feeling that good. So it's just taking a lot more intention. But it's actually really cool because we got to try out Aurelia, which is a curated lingerie subscription box, and you can get it either once a month, seasonally, or just once. And I am not somebody who has owned lingerie before. And oh my God, it makes me feel so fucking good. Oh my God.
Yeah. So what did you get?
So they, put you through this full style quiz. So you list all your sizes, what you're interested in, all of that. And I was really nervous because I don't know. I've never really tried on like a lot of bras that I like. I have small boobs, so I only buy my bras from a company that curates them for small boobs.
Yeah.
And so I was like nervous and I was like, oh, it's probably not going to fit me right. Probably not going to look right. Oh my God, it looks so good on me. I look fabulous.
Yeah.
I got this like black mesh bra and panty set. It's so cute. I could like wear the bra under like some sort of like see-through shirt too, and it would be so cute. And then I think they called it a chemise. I don't know.
Okay.
But it's like this little nightgown and it's like dark silky blue and lacy and it's beautiful. Like I wish my ass didn't hang out because I would wear this every day out. I mean, it's good that my ass hangs out because it's like it gives the vibe that it's supposed to. But yeah, and it's so nice. It's so nice.
I know. They were very generous to let us both try it out. So I did my style quiz as well. And I got like a matching bra and panty set.
I don't like that word, but it is what it is.
But the bra itself is just like thicker around, like, so it just like wraps around me a little bit more. But it's like kind of bustier feeling.
Ooh.
So it's black and lacy with like flowers on it. And so are the underwear. So they're kind of like more of those high-waisted underwear. And then I also got like a very dark blue lacy, like I think it's called a teddy.
I think it is called a teddy.
It kind of looks like it's a bodysuit basically, but it is just beautiful. And I never thought I would be a body that would fit well in a onesie. And it was beautiful on me.
I
loved it.
Felt so confident in the stuff that they sent, which is something that I've been struggling with because it's like, my body's doing all these weird things. So it's like, but when I put these on, it's like they fit so well. I don't know how. It's like they came into my house and measured me.
Exactly. That's exactly
really
how it
weird.
felt. Because I looked at the bra and I was like, I think it might be a little big. But then I put it on and I was like, oh my God, it fits me perfectly.
Like a damn dream.
Yes. So you're going to feel hot. Yes.
Yeah. So you can actually use code DEWME, DEWME, for 10% off of the monthly or seasonal boxes at aureliabox.com. That's AURELIABOX.com. And again, you can use code DEWME, DEWME, for 10% off.
But today we're getting a little hot.
We're getting a little hot and heavy. We're getting a little kinky.
A little kanky.
Ew.
That's how people
like
down
a
south.
canker sore.
I have cankers, and we're talking about
and
it.
I'm here to tell you all about it.
Yeah.
What is a canker sore?
Canker awareness. That also sounds like a slur.
Well, because it sounds like wanker. What is a canker?
It's a small ulcer in your mouth. So yeah, it's like a
okay. So like if you eat too many oranges
or
sour candies.
Yeah, acidic things.
Sour Patch Kids. I always feel like I have an ulcer in my mouth after eating Sour Patch Kids. I'm sensitive.
What a good way to talk about kink.
Yeah.
To bring it up for a good 3 minutes.
Because it hurts, and you know what else can hurt? Good sex.
Consensually. Good sex.
Okay, let's get into that.
Let's go there now.
We want to give a consensual disclaimer. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different
Kiki blinders.
Kinky things today. We both tried out a number of things, but we want to clarify in the beginning so that we don't have to keep saying it, that all of these things were very much consensual and that if you are going to be engaging in any of these things, take the proper precautions. This is not advice from us.
Have safe words.
Personal experience.
Yep.
Always get consent. And when you are going into something kinky, make sure you get it even more and continue to get consent the entire time.
Keep asking, make sure everyone's okay and feels good. And then talk about it after. Because all those things were done, but we're not going to keep talking about all the precautions we took.
Because if you call me a dirty slut, check in after and make sure it didn't hurt my feelings.
Make sure it didn't hurt my feelings. Because it could.
It could.
Most days it won't. But it could.
9 out of 10, it's not gonna. 1 out of 10, I'll tell you on the spot and I'm going to cry.
And I will be bawling my eyes out. So let's get kinky because we've been awaiting this due for a while. We've been excited for it.
Collecting
experiences. Yes, pulling them in. So let's go from least kinky to kinkiest in our experiences. Would you like to start?
I would love to start because this is something we've talked about before. We're going to talk a little bit about blindfolds. I had not used a blindfold before. We've talked about them many times. We have a lot of good uses for them. You know, like 69 was a great example of when to use a blindfold because
loved it.
You know, if you're nervous about your butthole, there's just a lot of times when if you're nervous about somebody seeing something on your body, aka your butthole has always been what this is about, use a blindfold.
Yeah.
So I just had never used a blindfold before. So I got one specifically for this, a beautiful green silk blindfold.
Fancy.
It's actually an eye mask. I got it from the Casa Luna section at Target.
Oh my God, of course you did.
Anyways, I love it. Yeah? I love a blindfold. We all know I'm an overthinker, and this just, for some reason, when you deprive your senses, it is just easier to stay in the moment. I don't know why.
So were you wearing it... Well, that doesn't make sense. I was going to say, were you wearing it getting things done to you or doing them to other people? But I had my partner wear a blindfold to eat my ass. Right. So, and to do 69 with me. So,
right. So it sounds funny when you say
question,
it, but it is a valid question. I used it. So both my partner and I took turns wearing it, but whoever was wearing it was receiving.
Okay.
So when he wore it, I was just being silly and had no idea what to do. I'll get into that a little later because I used like kinkier things on him at that point. So I'll mainly talk about me wearing it. So what we did, it was actually really fun. It was like very sweet. So that's why I'm starting it off because I don't feel like it's that kinky, but it's just that extra element. He kissed my whole body and then he went down on me. And that's something he's done before, but it was like so slow and like intentional. And the blindfold just made it 1,000 times better. I don't know why. Like it was more thrilling. I didn't necessarily know it was happening. And I was like a little shivery and like it was just overall really good. Yeah, so that was really fun.
That is really fun. I love a blindfold as well, a blindfold experience. I used it, same as you, on myself and on a partner. The main reason I would use it on a partner was because he loved being in control and having all of his senses working. And so taking that away from him brought the thrill into that sexual experience for him because he couldn't see what I was doing. And that helped... That like kind of checked him to be like, okay, you're the submissive one right now. So like you can't really touch me. I'm doing it.
So what were you doing?
I was either giving him a hand job or going down on him. Okay. And in that sense, he's just not really moving because like what else? You don't have control. I have the control. I have the power. So it was a nice like takeaway of power from them when he was wearing the blindfold. I guess I had kind of a similar experience when I would wear the blindfold too. It was a very like intentional move throughout my body. Yes. And yes, it was thrilling because you don't know where they're going.
Exactly.
And you just don't know which part of your body is going to start like lighting up. And again, I think we mentioned this in another episode. For whatever reason, when my eyes are covered, I feel more confident about my body.
I'm like, I am a fucking goddess.
I can't see what's happening, but I know it's good.
I know it is incredible. You're welcome.
This is just a vision. So for whatever reason, it just makes me more confident to open up literally and figuratively.
Yeah, and we've talked about before, like, you know, it's easy to get distracted. So, like, if there's a little bit of a mess, that makes it sound like there's shit in the corner.
If you brought your bathroom porta potty into the corner of your closet.
If there's just shit over there. But if there's, like, you know, some clothes here and there and it's not perfect and vibey, because you don't always have the ability to put in that much time. Maybe you're lazy. Maybe you're tired. Maybe and
I'm also a huge fantasy person in my head. And so I'm always getting my eyes closed. I'm always closing my eyes anyways because I love like taking my mind on little adventures. So that kind of helps me feel like it's assisting in my fantasies too. I
love that.
Do whatever I want in my head and not have to worry about if my eyes like kind of come open and take me out of the fantasy. Right. Because like I'll just have a blindfold on.
Oh, so that's so smart.
Yeah, I'm a big fantasy gal.
You are a big fantasy gal, and I wish that I was. Like, it's something I want to get into more. It's just not something that I do.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of how my mind works for whatever reason. Like when we were talking in Blueprints with like the kinky psychological, when I'm masturbating, when I'm having sex, I'm just like kind of always fantasizing about stuff. So that also felt good because like I do hold a little bit of like, it's not shame, but it's like judgment towards myself if I'm fantasizing with someone else So I'm glad we touched on it because like it totally is a thing that I love having in my sex life. So it felt affirming.
Absolutely.
And yes, a blindfold helps with that. So
yeah.
It was really
You don't
fun.
want to see their face. If you want to be with someone else.
If you're pretending you're No, and I wasn't doing that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
But
if you wanted to, that would be a great way to do it.
Well, a lot of the time when I'm fantasizing, if someone's when he was going down on me, I am a big person with like public stuff. We talked about it before with Layla.
You're a perv.
I'm a little bit of a peeping Tom.
You want to be
Wait, no.
peeped on.
I want to be peeped on.
Oh my God.
I am a peeping Tom. What can I say?
A little bit of a peeping. You're going to go to prison.
This is when the police come. No, but I can fantasize that people are watching.
Right.
And that's mainly what I'm doing. Not that like I'm watching other people. That's not what I mean.
Let's make this very
We're going to bring
clear.
another check-in right now and drop a pin that I do not peep on people. I'm not a Tom. I'm not a peeping Tom.
I'm an Emma and I don't peep.
And I don't peep. Anyways, let's move on to our next form of kinky that we experienced.
I feel like this might be taking it a little bit out of order, but I don't care. We're going to get into restraints later. I want to get into using a paddle right now, which is something that I did. And I'm going to be honest. So I felt very silly doing this.
Really? Oh, yeah.
I
get
felt
that.
very silly.
Props can be hard.
Oh my God, can they be hard? That is a huge takeaway for me.
Yeah.
And not hard in the good way. I do like spanking. Like I like being spanked. I haven't really like spanked my
No, you
partner.
spank all of us all the time.
I'm just a spanker.
In your
a
friend
wanker.
group. A wanker spanker.
I'm really not. But I like it when he does it to me or like grabs my ass kind of hard, like that sort of thing. And so I was like, oh, like a paddle makes sense. It feels like it's kind of like the next thing.
Yeah.
Right? But using a prop is hard. And it's just like, it's another thing to think about.
Yeah.
So the paddle made me feel like I really needed a persona to go with it. Of like, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Right.
And I don't. And even though my paddle is pink and says XOXO on it, which is really funny because I didn't realize they say words on them because when you smack somebody hard enough, it leaves the print of that. And I wish I had gotten the one that said slut because I hit my partner's ass so hard that it left the XOXO.
Oh my God, that would have been so funny.
I just think that would have been really funny. But yeah, so that made it kind of hard for me because I just really didn't know what to do with it. And so I just ended up being goofy, which was fine and fun, but it wasn't like, I didn't really like use it in the proper way. I would just like smack my partner consensually.
Right
when I say
across
smack,
the face.
that feels
I just
more
beat
intense.
the shit out of him because that's the only character I know how to play.
That's my only persona. Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm not an actress. I'm not a trained actor. But we played with it a little bit blindfolded. So when he was wearing the blindfold, I was just like smacking him with it a little bit in like different places, and we just felt really silly, and it was super goofy. For me, when I used it blindfolded, I was actually wearing handcuffs, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Using it as in he was using it on you.
Yeah, so I had on a blindfold and handcuffs, and then he was using the paddle on me. But how he was using it is he would like drag it along different parts of my body, like very slowly and lightly, which kind of tickled and gave that like thrilling, like shivery feeling. But if I ever put my hands down from above my head, that's when he would smack me with it.
Oh, that's
not super hard because I'm a baby.
A bebe.
I'm a bebe. I'm very sensitive. And I honestly, I feel like I've talked about this enough to where you guys know my partner. He is very like not intense, I guess. You know what I mean? Like I thought that he would go very like light and just like be a little nervous to do it. And I made a joke. I'm like, don't be a bitch. And he fucking smacked me with it.
He's like, finally, I have a way to smack you.
I know. I think he really liked it. I think he got out something, and I don't think that's what you're supposed to do in kink. I don't think you're supposed to get out the negative things, but it worked, and it was really fun. Yeah, that was like a really fun little game that I didn't tell him to do that. He just was like, lay down, and then did it, and it was super fun. It definitely got my blood pumping. And yeah.
I got a little rosy.
A little
my adrenaline, my fight or flight, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's really fun. Yeah, I've never done a paddle, but I was so excited for you to try it.
It's a good one. It's something I feel like you can borrow. So if you want to use it, that's not one that I put inside my body. So I feel like that's a fair one to share.
Yeah. I do have a flogger.
Right. That's the one like with the horsetail type.
It that has tassels. There's not a horse.
Well, I know it's not a horsetail,
it
but
has horse hair.
You
like
are a horse girl.
Old time brooms.
No, I mean like it hangs like a horsetail.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
You know what would be fun? I mean, I guess a lot of people know what type of things we're talking about, but to like link pictures on our Insta of all the toys we talk about.
Yeah.
Because we could definitely
we'll take some pics with them for you.
Why not, right? But yeah, I've used a flogger, and which I always assume would look like a paddle, but it's not.
I always thought a paddle. A paddle, I should have maybe said this. It's like when you picture like a fraternity paddle or something like that.
But yours is smaller.
It's
like
oh my god, yeah, and it's made out of leather, like fake pink leather. I should have described all of this earlier.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's not a giant wooden paddle.
Like
it is like a small pink. Which I'm sure you got when I said it's pink and says XOXO.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were not like, oh, it's 5 feet long and wooden.
Can row a fucking boat with that
paddle. No.
Very small. Very small. But yeah, that's my extent of like using a toy for smacking, because I also do like the butt.
Give me the specifics.
Slapping of how we used it.
Yeah.
I
also do the butt slap, and I don't want to let that go. That needed to be recognized.
That needed to be said. We would be in like doggy, and he brought it out, and like it was very light at first.
So it's like a horse.
It's like wata. Yeah.
Faster.
But it kind of stung a little bit. Like I think it's just different when it's not a whole big surface.
Yeah.
You know, it's like those little ones that kind of whip at you.
Yeah.
So it was fun. Like the initial like little stings were cute at first. But I wasn't a huge fan just because I like more of I think we talked about it with Sir Ezra, a thud. I like a thud rather than like a sting and a pinch. So it was fine, but I asked him to stop. Because I just, it took me out of the moment. I was like too distracted by it. So
yeah,
it wasn't my jam.
I think the one game that my partner and I played was really fun with me. How I used it with him was like not fun. And I was like, I don't think I'd do that again. But the way we did it eventually, I would absolutely do again. And if you want more information on either of these things, Sir Ezra's episode is great. So how to be more dominant. And then Jet Setting Jasmine's episode is amazing.
Yes.
That's a little further back, but definitely
really
worth
good
going back for.
Yeah, really good for check-ins too about the strength and like the amount of touch.
So much on impact play.
Yeah, so much. So lots of good tips for that. But you also mentioned handcuffs. Pardon, monsieur.
I did. I love a little restraint.
Uh-huh.
And I have said that since the first episode of this podcast, which I was so nervous to say.
You were mortified about that.
I was mortified because I said that my partner will like hold my hands above my head. Now that feels silly.
Yeah.
I do still like that. But I got a pair of silicone handcuffs.
Yeah.
So they're very comfy. They're just like a little black set. I bought one pair and then my dog ate them. So I had to get a second pair.
A true toy for me?
Yeah, he was very excited about it. He thought it was very sweet. So yeah, I used these with the blindfold. And what was great about them was like, it kind of prevented me from stopping my partner. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, with the paddle, for example, it's like when he was running it up and down and then I would start to like bring my hands down. I couldn't all the way because it was like they were in handcuffs.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of like helped me not stop the moment and just be in it, because I get really nervous. And then when I get nervous, I get really awkward. And so I'll just stop something and be weird and make like a stupid joke.
Yeah.
And it prevented me from doing that, which is good because it's like I want to be in those moments, but I get so in my head because I'm like, oh, I'm not a sexual person. I'm not that person. I'm not dominating. I'm not like any of those things. Like I'm not sexy in that way. And so it's like I have a tendency to deprive myself of those kinds of moments. And I feel like the more I take away from my abilities, the easier it is to stay in them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so have you ever tried metal handcuffs?
No.
Yeah, they're just not fun. They hurt. painful.
I don't think I'm a huge pain person is
Yeah.
what I learned.
I want to be comfy while I'm being restrained or something.
Exactly.
Did your partner use the handcuffs?
Yeah, so he did wear them. It felt sillier. It wasn't like quite as sexy. It honestly just felt a little like they're tiny too. Like I got the smalls. I didn't really know that they came in sizes. So his hands, it was difficult to get them in and out because they're just two circles that are connected.
Yeah.
There's no like opening. It's like you literally pull them in and out. So my hands, it's like actually really easy to get in and out. Not easy enough to where they're going to slip off during anything. But like for him, they were it's just hard to get in and out, and he was just awkward and weird, and I don't know.
It's too clunky.
Yeah, it was fun to like play around. I had him like naked wearing the handcuffs and the blindfold, and I was just like fucking around with him. Literally wasn't doing. I would like smack him with a paddle and then laugh and not know what to do.
And cut scene.
There was one thing I did that because I ran out of stuff to do, and I was like, I have literally no idea what to do, and I don't know. I didn't want to do a hand job or a blow job. That wasn't what we were in the moment for. So I grabbed my Satisfier Pro 2.
Okay.
Which is the clitoral sucker vibrator
Did
thing.
you put it on his nipples?
No, I put it on his wiener.
That just would be like a little...
Yep, that's what it was. And he was like, what is that? Because it makes a sound. And so that was funny, messing with him with that.
That was silly.
Because the more you turn it up, the louder it gets. And he's like, what the fuck is that? And on the higher settings, he said it hurt. So I didn't do that.
You stopped that.
Yeah.
Got it.
He didn't like it on his balls at all.
That's fair. Did you guys have sex with the handcuffs?
I took them. Yes,
like penetrative sex?
Yeah, we did have penetrative sex with them because after the paddle and all of that kind of stuff, I just ended up keeping them on, and then we had sex. Like penetrative sex. And then when we were moving positions for me to get on top, I took them off because I was like, I don't.
What positions did you do on bottom with sex?
Just like missionary.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should try doggy with them. I want to hear your reviews for that.
Me wearing them in dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like face down, ass up on the with your hands behind your back.
Oh, okay. That makes more. I was like, are they just in front of me?
Yeah, you're just cradled, actually.
Like, why?
More like a fetal position. No, with your hands behind your back. If you like being restrained, then you really do need your partner's help.
That is a very compromising position.
But it could be fun.
That could be fun. Yeah.
Because it's almost like they can like hold you up.
Oh, yeah.
By your hands. I really like that one. I haven't used handcuffs in a long time.
Years.
But I like when they have both of my hands behind my back with one of their hands.
I like that.
And then like I'm bent over the bed, you know?
Okay.
So, or that position
so like
as well.
Standing.
We could do standing, or you could do it where you're like on all fours on the bed, but like you drop your head into the pillow.
Faces. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that would be fun. You should try
that would be fun.
If that interests you.
If that tickles your fancy.
Intrigues you.
If you're serving up a holiday spread anytime soon, don't forget to keep your trimmings in check. All you got to do is make sure Manscaped has a seat at your table.
Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 is going to get you through this holiday season. Inside, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 Pube Trimmer, Weed Whacker Ear Nose Trimmer, Ball Deodorant, Ball Toner, plus their Boxer Briefs and Travel Bag.
My God.
So many things. So you know we love the Lawnmower 4.0 with our whole hearts and all of our other parts, and you just got to try it. It's waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. It has skin-safe technology, and it'll get you nice and trimmed up.
And if you want to keep pampering your pants potatoes, you can grab the Crop Reviver Ball Toner and the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant to keep everything smooth, calm, and feeling fresh as fuck.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DEWME, DEWME at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com when you use code DEWME, DEWME.
Experience premium grooming with Manscaped.
Fuck.
So restraints. I heard from a little birdie, that you tried some more intense restraints.
I did. So this was literally when we wanted to do kink. This was the first prop that came into my head.
Excited about
I was
this.
like, this is what I'm doing. So I got bed restraints. I got all fours, 2 arms, 2 legs restraints. I was fucking thrilled.
So how do those work? Is it a strap that goes underneath the mattress that connects?
Yeah. So there's like one vertical
thread
strap with like the rings at either end, and then the strap will connect to that upside, and then so it's kind of like if you pull on one, you're pulling down the other.
Got it.
So everything's connected, and if you move too much, like you just can't move
You're
too much.
restrained.
Exactly. And you can like tighten them once your arms are in. You like have those like tightening straps.
So are you just starfish?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So first, like I said with the blindfold, it's fun. It was fun to use it on him because he has a hard thing with power. Like he wants to be in control. A hard on for power. So I made him try it first, consensually. That was very deep.
That was beautifully deep.
Thank you. But he didn't want to do the legs, which was totally fine. So just the arms. And we didn't have sex. No, it was just like hand job stuff. And he also had the blindfold on. And he had fun, but it was more like I was very excited for it.
Oh, okay.
It was like my thing. Because he's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about using it. I was like we're saying, it's for me.
this is
I want it pleasure. So bad. I first tried it out with my roommate. So we like took turns strapping each other down to see how they would work. So we had to test it out first just to make sure I could do it right. But also, they kick right under your bed. So I still have them set up. And
amazing.
I can whip it out whenever I want.
Any moment.
As like a fun little tool that I have.
You're so prepared.
Yeah. So anyway, getting into the experience of it, I was blindfolded and strapped with all fours. And that was fine with me. Like, again, being blindfolded, I feel way more confident than I should. That I have the fucking right to. And he went down on me, and it was just like electric. It felt it felt so good to be restrained like that and have no control over my body moving.
Well, because it's weird because it's like if you have no control, you're free at the same time.
Yeah, you are. And so I would be like squirmy because it feels so good, but I couldn't do anything about it. And that was just really hot for him. It was really hot for me. And he was down there for a while, like a long
Like how many minutes?
Oh, he's very good.
Like
10, 15.
Beautiful.
Playing around, doing whatever he wanted to do. And
I feel like that's about where you want to be. Like that's a good...
because it's slow. It's not, you're not going for the orgasm necessarily.
Exactly.
You're going for the tantalizing experience of being restrained and having no control over where they're at.
Yes.
So he's very good with like sensation play too down there. So it wasn't necessarily just like going down on me for 10 to 15 minutes. It was playing around. So that's like he'd take a break and then all of a sudden he'd be like on my inner thigh and you'd be like, oh fuck. And you couldn't move your legs and you're just right there
when you want to
him.
like crunch up. Yes,
Yeah.
that's why restraints are so fucking cool because they keep you in the fucking moment, even when it like you want to be there, but your body's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, exactly. So 10 out of fucking 10. It is by far one of my favorite toys that I've gotten for myself. If I'm feeling like, I also think that you can just take it in levels, you know? So like if you want to be on your stomach with just your legs restrained or something, or just your arms. So it's kind of like you could go full blown starfish or you could have like levels of restraint, like kind of use it as handcuffs. So it was fun.
Yeah.
It was really a good time.
Did you have penetrative sex?
No, we didn't because just after the sensation play, we really wanted to have sex. So we just got out of the strains.
Yeah, that was how it worked with a few of the things that we did too. It's like, okay, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? You just want to like get into the moment. I think it's great for like the entire time as well if that's what you want to do. But it is really fun for foreplay. For me, because I have trouble thinking of stuff to do during foreplay. If I'm gonna be honest,
yeah, right. So it's just a really good warm up. And then also speaking of warm up, we and sensation play. He had bought a candle that melts into body like massage oil.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily wax play.
Okay.
Whatever. So I had the blindfold on, starfished out in the restraints, and then he would like step away and get the candle and like drip that on me and then started massaging, which was how I want to get massaged from here on out. Blindfolded.
Where can I get a massage like that?
I'm sure you could find places.
Craigslist.
Right.
You would probably get paid for that.
Yeesh, don't do that, anyone. But that was cool with the temperature, not knowing where it was going to go, testing out all the sensitive skin areas.
Bits.
How
hot was it?
It was not hot at
Just
all.
warmish.
Yeah, like I could feel a little bit of a temperature change because it was warmer, but that has like a very low melting point. It didn't affect my body at all. The massage part was what was fun because, again, I wouldn't know where he was going and I was strapped all over, so I couldn't move no matter where he was touching me. So that was sensational.
I love that.
And I really enjoy using other toys and like tricks when I'm strapped down, besides just like oral sex or something like that. So it was amazing. I had so much fun.
Compound toys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you ever do those?
The restraints? Yeah. I'm sold. I'm like ready to get them.
You should.
Totally sold me.
You totally, we went to the store and got them all together, got the paddle and the restraints, whatever. And then I signed up for an account.
So I'm
so I can get you a little bit of a discount, I think.
Oh, beautiful.
There we go. Because
I can get you the hookup.
They are the most expensive toy that I've bought for myself, I think. They're like $50, I think, which isn't that bad. Right. You want quality stuff-ish. But yeah, they're a little bit more expensive, I think.
Yeah, but worth it.
Worth it.
They've paid for themselves.
They're going to stay under my bed like that for forever because I love them.
All that is popping into my head, and I'm so sorry. You can remove this. Is how your dad made your headboard.
Fucking Christ, God, that is. Well, so there's things that you could like twist into the headboards too, and I was like, I could never do that.
No,
poor dad. I could not do that to him. So. Yeah.
Just the most beautiful handmade headboard. Speaking of hot stuff.
Hot stuff.
I jumped in the deep end with this and like it was not a good idea. Like there are no bad repercussions, but like what I'm about to say is not a recommendation. I think what you did with the candle melting into massage oil, like beautiful. I want to do that so badly. I did not do that. I got like fucking wax. Like they're body safe. They're for this. They are for wax play, but I got like wax stick candles.
Right.
I recently learned, I did a little bit of research about wax play to just make sure I was safe-ish. And I realized I got paraffin wax ones, which is fine. Those are technically body safe. You want to stick to soy or paraffin wax. But paraffin is hotter. So it burns more. Soy has like a lower melting point, I guess. You want to stay away from beeswax and something else. But yeah. So I used paraffin wax ones. Yeah, they hurt.
That was an ouchie.
They hurt. Another recommendation that I had heard was like, have a bucket of warm water by you because it is fire and you could burn. But you're not supposed to put cold water on a burn, I guess, because it's so shocking to the system that it can make the burn even worse. And you aren't supposed to do this near any sort of linens. So I'm a dumbass.
You did so many things.
I did so many things wrong. Like I'm such a dumbass. But but what I would do, because obviously I love my linens. I've talked about that before.
Your linens.
So they're stick candles. I would like light it, let it melt a little bit as I was holding it, and then blow it out and then drip it.
Okay.
So I wasn't going to like risk the flame anywhere near my partner's body or anything like that.
Or more importantly, your linens.
Or more importantly, my very expensive linens.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I dripped it on his chest and his arms. And again, it was like definitely painful. Like he would be like, oh, not like enough to where I think it left like little marks, but they went away by like the next day. He did the same to me. I like just dripped it in like a line, nothing like fancy.
Right.
I wasn't like, writing books in candle wax on his balls. I also stayed away from, we did not do any like genital stuff with the wax whatsoever. This was another tool that I felt like if I was actually going to use it during sex, like we didn't even have sex with this because it was so like just out of our comfort zones. I felt like I needed to be in character for this, absolutely. And at this time in my life, that's just not really something I'm good at or interested in. So it it was just kind of goofy and like a trial thing. I think it's just something we need to bring somebody on to talk about because I have no fucking idea what I was doing. And I think massage oil would be 1,000 times better with my current skill level.
Yeah, because it's less like the act of massaging is your persona necessarily.
Right, exactly. And I can massage as Cass.
Yeah, as just Cass. And you could just ask what feels good, where you want to go. And then like just play with touch.
Exactly. But with the wax, it's like you drip it on and then it's like, now what?
Now what?
Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, what do you do after that point? I read one thing that in porn, I don't watch enough porn for this, I guess. They'll get it off with a whip.
Ah, ouchie.
Yeah. And like I think a flogger.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like kind of a sweeping thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's intense.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Oh,
we just peeled it off because it was like, the size of grain of rice.
Yeah. I wonder if doing more like fire and ice type of a vibe would make the process longer, like more of a thing. Because I also agree with you. Like, it'd be nice to talk to someone about like what to do with it and then after, because here you go.
Yeah, like bringing in some ice play would be really fun after that. Like maybe that is a next step. And obviously we've talked about that. So I don't know. It just it didn't feel sexually charged. And I think it is more of like a pain play thing. Like if that is what you are into. And I think, at least in my head, it seemed like it required more of like a character or more of like a dominating energy, which for me is a character. And it just... wasn't my vibe. There are so many other things that I would rather do. And it was like, I was so worried about the flame and getting it on my sheets. And like, I could have done it on the fucking hardwood. But like, that's
down
just
in the
my kitchen. I have carpet and the rest, or the bathroom floor.
Yeah,
like, that's it.
That's so gross.
So I wasn't about to have my partner lay his naked body on my bathroom floor so I could drip wax on him in a non-sexual way.
Right. In a non-sexual in a very platonic way.
Oh my God, that's all I have to say about it. It was funny. And it's weird having wax dripped on yourself. But it's not... When you were little, did you ever like stick your finger in candle wax? And that's so satisfying, right? It's not fucking like that.
Got it.
But I think that's because I had the sticks too. I think if it was more like the type of a bigger candle where you pour the wax, or like the drip just isn't it.
It's just not satisfying. Yeah,
it just hurts a little, and that's it.
Right. And
so if that's what you're into, great. But I think the pour would be more satisfying, like all around, so that the pain would at least have like a reason, and then I'd get to peel it off or something. I don't know.
To peel. I love to peel.
Oh, when you take it off your fingertips, it's just so good. But it wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, you should totally try the massage oil stuff.
Yeah,
because it had a good scent. It was a little strong, but I mean, it was very scented. It got a little chalky, like it wasn't very oily. It kind of like lost its glide. It slipped after, but like initially it just smelled good. It was warm but not hot, and you could like move around for a couple minutes before it got chalky. So I would definitely suggest trying that. Because it was fun.
Yeah, I think it sounds great.
Yeah, but all in all, I really feel like we tried the gamut of what our intro expertise would let us, and I would still I loved everything I did.
Yeah, I would do most of I wouldn't do the waxing. Well, I guess I would do it again.
Just need to like learn more about it.
I need a reason to do it because I don't get pleasure from pain. Oh, the only other thing I did want to mention in terms of pain play, because I feel like I learned it's just not really for me, except for like spanking and that kind of stuff. But that feels different.
That feels different.
But I did learn this. I didn't learn it yesterday or anything, but I've been learning that my partner does actually like pain play.
Okay.
So that's something that I try to do, but not really like with tools because I'm not skilled at them. So it's more like if he's on top, like digging my fingernails into his back type of thing, or like biting his lip harder than I would want him to bite mine. Also, mine are a lot more expensive. Mine are a lot more expensive than his. I got my lips done. I'll be honest about it. I haven't talked about that at all. They
look great. They look so good, but expensive, and don't bite them.
Yeah, I did get my lips done, and I love them. They're very subtle, but don't fucking bite them because
mine are more expensive.
I paid too much. But yeah, that is fun to like learn what we are into. And yeah, he is into pain play a little bit more, but the wax, I just don't know what to do with it. So I would love to use it in a way that would like ignite that pain play in him and like him, you know, get the pleasure from it. But I just don't know what to do. So it's just us being there like, are we done? Can we do something else? Like, for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake. God damn it. Can we move on? That's so interesting too that you're like discovering together like his likes. For whatever reason, I feel like maybe it's a societal thing. It's how we grow up in like these weird gender roles of stuff. I always feel like, oh, men know what they want. Men always know what they want in bed, and women are always the ones on their journey to discovering what good sex means for them. So that's fun that you guys are discovering, because you just don't hear about learning your sexual interests with men a lot.
Exactly.
So it's a good thing for you guys.
I know. And I think, you know, obviously we've been together a long time, and the more like we dive into sexual stuff and exploration, I feel like he does get more and more comfortable sharing like what he is interested in. And there have been things that, you know, he's even admitted, he's like, I didn't say this before because I was really nervous. Like one thing that he brought up is like, he wanted me to sit on his face because he likes the feeling of like suffocation almost. Not like actual breath play, because I've actually set a very firm boundary with that with him, because he mentioned it and I was like, no, because I think that's really dangerous and we have no fucking idea what we're doing.
Got it.
So it's just not for me. But like just the kind of like smothered was actually the word that he used. So like smothering, not suffocation. Sorry. And so it's like him being able to express those kinds of things that he thought were wrong or like just not safe to tell another person. It's really cool to watch somebody become so much more comfortable with their wants, because there's nothing wrong with anything that you want, unless it's children or animals. Then just get help. But like, you know, what we do does matter. And obviously you need to take into consideration consent and all of that stuff. But for the most part, I feel like our wants and our desires like are just so fucking normal. And so many people want the exact same fucking thing, and we're just all nervous to talk about it. Yeah. That's why kink is so cool, because kink it lets you explore those things.
Exactly. Well, with the same coin, that's why the guy I was having sex with wanted me to sit on his face, because he liked the pressure and like the heaviness.
Yes.
Or when we would do 69, he liked that when I would lay on him. Which is a little funky, getting your head in all the angles. But I mean, because I love weighted blanket stuff.
Yeah,
I mean that's not a sexual thing.
that's emotional. That's just anxiety
that's just
related.
A me thing. But it's like the heaviness, the like pressure of like body weight.
Yes,
is totally a thing.
It feels good. And I think I've separated I've separated things that feel good and things that are like pleasure, because I've only really seen pleasure as like sex based, like if I'm having an orgasm or something like that. But it's like things that feel good, like a weighted blanket, like transfer into sex. Like it is okay to bring in those comfort things, because they make the pleasure like they are pleasure. I don't know,
they make it feel like safe and comfy.
Exactly.
But what you said with breath play and choking, I do like that. Okay. But I've never gotten a course on doing it safely with someone you don't trust. So that's totally a thing that we should talk about in our future, because that is so important to do safely. But every time I've done it, I've been with partners that I've been dating for a long time. So I know they're not going to kill me / I could tap them out.
Right. You know? It's not like you can't. That makes sense. And I think I'm definitely open to it eventually. I have no formal training.
All I know is that you need to pinch, not flatten.
Yeah.
That's all
sense.
I know.
Yeah.
And that is the extent of my knowledge.
And so there you go. Don't take that with you. This is not advice.
This is not advice. If anyone is an expert on breath play, let us know.
Yeah.
Because that'd be a cool topic.
Let's do it.
That's
like choking and stuff, right?
Yeah. And again, I don't know anything else. Choke me. What is that song?
It's like, choke me like you hate me. Yeah. But you love me, low key, want to date me.
So you do know exactly.
I do know that song. I memorized it because I was going to do something for TikTok for Honeydew Me, and then I didn't, because I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to mouth that in front of people.
That's fair.
I'm fine with you hearing my voice say it, but watching me mouth
watching my face have to move to those words,
because it looked like I was serious.
Choke me like you hate me,
and I was like, I'm just not that. I'm not that girl.
I'm not that gal. I'm not that gal today. Well, do you have any other notes for your kink play?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I
me
think
either.
That's the full Monty.
Full Monty. Yeah. The whole enchilada. Kit caboodle.
Kit and caboodle.
So you go into your part because I have not memorized your part and you need to say it.
Are you going to thank us?
Oh, thank you to me for showing up today. It was hard. It was a hard decision.
So honest and raw.
Just being honest and raw and like just showing up on time was a battle for me today.
Yeah.
And thanks, Cass, for like letting me in your house.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And thank you to our listeners.
Thank you for answering the door.
Thanks for answering the door.
And if this episode did anything for you, if it did anything for you, go ahead and share it with somebody that you think it could do something for.
Yeah. Try.
Because Emma and Cass do kink.
Do kink.
And better yet, not better yet, because really if everybody that listened shared this with one person that they loved, we could do this full time.
Yeah. And don't you want that?
Don't you want that? Don't you want more?
Don't you want more of me?
Don't you just want me smothering you?
Do this full time. Put my full body weight on you. Don't you want that?
Don't you want me like a weighted blanket on your life?
Sounds like depression.
Head on over to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe to Honey Do Me. It means so much to us. If this is going to be the episode that gets you to leave a review, go ahead and leave like a chain, handcuffs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking a candle because we have like a little candle.
Yeah.
So
whatever feels kinky to you.
Yeah.
And that you might be interested in trying because we'll get into it a little bit more. And that way we can know what you want. And, just DM us on Instagram or something. If you have an episode that you want to know more about, if one of these things is interesting, but you're scared to try it.
We also have our HDM submissions at gmail.com email. If you, I guess it's not anonymous. I was going to say if you want to be a little bit more private, but
it's not anonymous. Hopefully we'll have that someday, but we don't judge. Trust me, we have gotten some emails.
So we've seen the gamut, and just send us what you have.
We've seen it all, honey.
So
what you're going to send us is
submissions if you have anything else.
Yeah, anything you want us to touch on. Get a guest for.
Get a guest.
It's not us.
How about
we won't touch on it. We'll just get your questions out there.
I'm not going to touch you.
Well, I might.
With consent.
I gave the consensual disclaimer.
No, I was going to say spank and cast.
I'm a spank and wanker.
Spank and wanker.
I'm a spank and wanker canker. And on that note, we'll see you next week.